Gotta get that thumbnail though. Oh yeah. Woo. Today we're gonna be going over the Sony Fx3 and how it compares to the Sony A7S II, which is what I'm coming from, and why I didn't go with the A7S III. Let's get into it. Let's start by talking about some of the main differences with this Fx3. So one of the big ones is this flip out LCD screen. Love having that. It's super beneficial when vlogging, getting low angle shots, you can tip it down, everything like that. It's just, Sony really needed to do this and I'm glad they did. They also made it touchscreen, which is very nice. I've noticed it's pretty responsive. I think they did a good job on that. Along with that, there is a new menu system in the Sony Fx3 and A7S III, and I think most of the new Sonys have that. This one still has the old one, so I have to learn how to use this new one. Not too different, but I do like how it's set up. Sony's also going with a cageless design on this Fx3, so they put a metal exterior trim on this with some screw holes on the top and on the sides, and obviously you still have your one on the bottom, so you can mount some of the stuff that you would normally be mounting to a cage, like your cinema setup, your monitors, whatever you have. The button layout on this Fx3 is the main difference between this and the Sony A7S III. The A7S III has a little bit more of a similar button layout to this A7S II than the Fx3. The Fx3 is considered a cinema camera, so the buttons are laid out a little bit more focused for filmmakers. So you have a lot more record buttons around, there's a lot more record lights. You have your ISO, your iris, you have everything up top here. You have a focusing button, and I think it's set up really nicely. Like I said, it's really difficult to change from this. I've been shooting on this for 4 years, but this is set up very nicely, and I think I'm gonna be able to get used to it pretty quick. Going to the trapdoors on the side, we have a full-size HDMI port, which I've been waiting for so many years. Micro-sized HDMI ports are garbage. I've gone through so many micro HDMI cords with these. The piece breaks off at the end, so having this full size is awesome. I love that. There's two more trapdoors on here, so we have headphone and audio jack, a 3.5mm audio jack, which I actually used with my Rode Video Mic Go the other day. It sounds phenomenal. And down here we have the USB-C and the USB port. Switching over to the other side, the SD card slot. This is similar to all the new Sonys as well. Click down, pull out, pops open. You have two SD card slots capable of doing 4 different SD cards. So each slot has an SD card and a VF Express card slot, one on top, one on bottom. If you don't know what those are, you can go check out a different video on YouTube about that. I'm not gonna go in depth on those cards, but basically one allows you to shoot a lot more cinema grade footage than the other does. I'm just using an SD card, but they do need to be V90 grade SD cards. To close it back up, you just close it shut, slide it over, and it clicks. The main internal differences with this camera are gonna be in the frame rates. So it does shoot 4K 120 frames per second and 4K 60 frames per second. Also the color information, it does shoot 422 10-bit color, which is amazing. I've been using a Atomos Ninja 5 recording monitor, so I've already been using 10-bit, but it's nice to see something internal that I don't have to set up an external monitor for. Obviously the big external change on this, there's no viewfinder. And this was the main reason that I did switch from the A7S II directly into the Fx3. I didn't go to the A7S III, was because of this bad boy. It comes with this top handle, which shoots 2 XLR audio inputs straight into the camera. I've been using a Zoom recorder to record all my audio separate for all my client videos and stuff, and I'll just put it in post. So having this to be put on top in place of the viewfinder is amazing. I can just plug my XLR ports right into this. It records audio directly onto the SD card right alongside the video, so this is super nice. The grip feels really good in the hands too, and it looks really cool on top of the camera. The other reason I didn't go to the A7S III is because they've been out of stock for months. The Fx3 has been coming back in stock every once in a while, and I finally found an opportunity to grab one from my local camera shop. Shout out to Z Systems for that. This camera has been amazing. I've only had it for about a week, but just in terms of build quality, the size of this thing compared to the A7S III, it is big, it's girthy, but it's still light. It's not heavy or bulky. It feels really good. It feels really solid. There's tons and tons of FX3 videos out there already. I'm a little bit late to the show. This camera's been out for about 8 or 9 months, somewhere in there. I'm not quite sure, but there's a lot of videos out on this already. So if you have any other questions about anything else, go check some of those out. I just wanted to introduce my new camera to the channel and see how it was a little bit different from the A7S II and why I didn't go to the A7S III. I do have 2 A7S II cameras for sale now that I have this bought. I think I might be getting another one of those or an A6600, something to go alongside it, but I am gonna be selling my 2 A7S IIs, which the other one is recording this video right now, which looks stellar quality. So if you are interested in any of these, hit me up. I have one with a cage and I have one with a battery grip, which is the one right there. So if you're interested in either of those, you can reach out to me. These things are power horses, man. I've been using them for 4 or 5 years. They're great. So hit me up if you're interested. That was the FX3 versus the A7S II. With all that being said, this is an amazing consumer camera. It's good for first business startup, first photographer, first videographer. This thing shoots great low light, great photos, great videos, but this is the next step up. This is what's gonna perfect my business, and I'm so excited. And for now, guys, remember to keep making your dreams a reality, and we will see you in the next video.